Dalby. I'm a registered nutritionist, and I work with families and kids to help them through their digestive and emotional issues, as well as the time management issues that prevent them from getting healthy. It's what I do, and it's awesome. And we're talking about how sugar affects your body. Because let me tell you, I bet you know it's bad for you, but do you know why? And do you know how you can get yourself off of it? I'm going to help you with that. First of all, let's talk about why it's bad for you, and then we'll kind of talk about how it affects you and then what you can do about it, okay? So why is it bad for you? Well, the most obvious being it's totally empty calories, right? High in calories with like no nutritional value, no vitamins, no minerals, nothing to actually benefit your body. So if you're consuming a bunch of sugar and all of this energy, but you're not actually using that much energy, it's going to be stored in your body as fat. So it's empty calories, useless, but it easily gets stored as fat. So it's pointless, right? So that's the first problem with it. Another problem is it affects your metabolism. Did you know that? So sugar is broken down into glucose and fructose. Glucose is used by almost every cell in your body. Okay, so it's used up almost immediately. But fructose, it gets metabolized by the liver and turns into free fatty acids or FFAs. These can create fatty liver as well as insulin resistance. It turns into very low density lipoprotein, VLDL, one of the bad cholesterols. And it also turns into triglycerides. These are the little buggers that get stored as fat in your body, okay? So those are three different ways your liver metabolizes fructose alone, okay? Metabolism by your liver though, guys, what this does is it creates toxins and waste and uric acid in your body. And when you have all this buildup in your body, it can lead to high blood pressure, gout, and other different kinds of things. So number 3, it contributes to disease, like duh, right? We know this. So insulin resistance, which is like a given if you consume a lot of sugar, that can lead to type 2 diabetes. So high levels of sugar force your pancreas to secrete insulin. And if you have too much sugar, your body then becomes resistant to that and stops producing the insulin. Chronic elevation will then cause your insulin to store that energy as fat, right? Just excess weight gain, really hard to control. Also, it can contribute to heart disease and cancer. Now, let me tell you a crazy stat. Your risks for developing heart disease and cancer can increase within just 2 weeks of consuming high fructose corn syrup. Like, right? This is crazy stuff, and we don't take this seriously. And then dietary fructose can promote cancer via inflammation, altered cell metabolism, and free fatty acids. So that's the bad news about sugar. And I mean, to be honest, I don't really have much good news, but that's the bad news, okay? So how does it affect your body? Well, it will affect you physically, usually through weight gain, right? You're going to see it in weight gain. So fructose is the most lipophilic carbohydrate. So fructose gets turned into activated glycerol, which is called G3P. G3P turns your free fatty acids, your FFAs, into triglycerides, which that's what gets stored as fat. The more G3P you have, the more stored fat you're going to have, right? So the more fructose you consume, the more G3P that's being created, and the more fat you're going to have, the more weight you're going to gain. So let me put this into perspective for you, and this is going to be another blow your mind stat. So just 120 calories of glucose equals 1 gram of stored fat in your body, right? It's not too bad. You can handle, you can work that off, go for a run, right? No big deal. But 120 grams of fructose equals 40 grams of stored fat in your body. Like, guys, this is crazy stuff. Also, glucose decreases your hunger by suppressing the hormone ghrelin, and that's your hunger initiating hormone, and it increases or stimulates the leptin hormone, which is your satiety hormone, helping you feel full. Whereas fructose does really nothing with ghrelin, but it actually interferes with the brain's communication of leptin, causing you to feel more hungry and overeat. Okay, so it's actually affecting your hormones and communication with your brain. I mean, this is like it's getting everywhere in your body, guys. Like there's no escaping. You think just having one chocolate bar is not going to affect you, but it actually does. Now, that's what affects you physically, but it can also affect you emotionally, okay? So mood swings are associated with hypoglycemia, right? I don't know if any of you have hypoglycemia or have experienced symptoms of it, but it can make you very, very moody. And up to 4 hours after having like a highly refined carbohydrate meal, your blood sugar levels are gonna spike and then drop rapidly, which is gonna cause the body to release adrenaline. It's a stress on the body. And stress is, I mean, most often the root cause of many, many people's medical issues. So don't stress your body out if you don't have to, right? Protect that. And also signs of depression and anxiety and fatigue. These are all associated with sugar and all caused by that rise and fall of your blood sugar levels that I was talking about. Again, big deal, guys. Like if you want to be emotionally stable, if you want your kids to be emotionally stable, cut the sugar, right? Mentally. Let's talk about mentally, because I believe this is the root cause of so many people not being able to concentrate at work. And I believe it's the root cause of many kids being diagnosed with learning disabilities when really they just need to cut the sugar out of their diet, okay? So let's talk about this. It can create lack of concentration, right? That quick rise in your blood sugar levels actually disrupts communication between your neurons. So it disrupts communication between your neurons, and that sugar rush that you get stresses out the body, but it can also cause cortisol to be released, okay? So total stress on the body. And when cortisol is released, it can actually cause confusion and a lack of concentration, anxiety, things like that. So when you're stressing your body out and these blood sugar levels are going all over the place, your body has to protect your brain, right? It's got to protect your brain, and it's using so many resources, and it gets hard to concentrate. This is what we do to our kids when we feed them a high sugary breakfast, we feed them high sugary snacks at school, and we give them like a carb dense lunch. Don't do it. Don't do it to your kids. They got to concentrate in school. Also, it can cause addiction. Studies have proven that sugar affects that same addictive part of the brain as cocaine. And also it can cause cravings, right? Cravings, mood swings, all of these things come from that addiction that is caused by consuming sugar, okay? Cravings, mood swings, total addiction. And then it affects your memory and your learning. Our poor children, right? So insulin resistance damages communication between your brain cells that affect your learning and memory. This is crazy stuff, guys. Did you know that? It actually damages brain cells, yet we feed it to our kids. So if you didn't know that, hear me now, okay? Sugar actually damages your brain cells that affect your learning and communication. And concentration, if you can't concentrate, it's going to affect your memory and your learning. So let's talk practical now. 3 ways that you can remove it from your diet. You guys ready? This is the good stuff. This is the action stuff for you, okay? I've got 8 practical tips coming for you at the end, but here's just some ideas for you, okay? So remove it in stages. You don't need to do it all at once. I'm a big fan of going cold turkey, but if that intimidates you or prevents you from actually stopping, just do it in stages, but get it out of the house. Get it out of the house. So you can cut a certain percentage each week. You can cut it from a certain category, like saying, I'm just going to remove it from my snacks. I'm just going to remove it from my drink. Or you can keep it to a certain day each week at the beginning. Remember, the whole point of this sort of a process is that you're slowly decreasing the amount you have. So you can say, this week I'm cutting 25%, next week 50%, next week 75%, but you have to continue to make that change. You can also make healthy swaps. So swap out unhealthy sugars for healthier ones. But do skip agave. Please skip agave. It's anywhere from 50 to 70% fructose, and it acts just like high fructose corn syrup in your body. So even though they've said agave is good for you, it's so highly processed that it's not. So you want to stick to things like raw honey, pure maple syrup, stevia, blackstrap molasses. Those are great ones. Or if you want to puree your own fruit and use that, that's fine too. And then you also want to reduce your carbohydrates. It will reduce cravings, reduce your hidden sugars. If you eat it, you're going to crave it. So get rid of it and reduce your time in front of the TV because it increases your cravings or your desire for carbohydrates. Laziness will do that. Okay, so here's your practical tips. So first one, remove all juice and pop from your diet. Yep, because they're going to cause you to crave it. Number 2, bake at home. Don't buy store-bought baked goods. Bake at home. Use healthy ingredients, okay? Number 3, keep fruit handy. When you're craving something sugary, have a piece of fruit. Okay, it will help because it has the sugars, but it also has the fibers in it. Number 4, replace your sugary cereals with healthy things for breakfast like eggs or oatmeal or something delicious like that. Number 5, swap your chips out for air popped popcorn. Okay, get rid of those chips. Number 6, keep your pre-cut veggies accessible. So pre-cut veggies at the beginning of each week, keep them in the fridge. So when you're going to get something crunchy, you can just grab your veggies. Have a container in the fridge and pantry with pre-portioned snacks. One of my favorite things to do. If you can have a bunch of pre-portioned snacks, whether it's in the fridge or in your pantry, then when you're craving something, we usually go with what's easiest. So that would be a bag of chips, right? Or that would be a candy bar. But if we already have some stuff that's pre-packaged and ready and healthy, we'll grab that because it's easy. And then my final one, swap out your traditional granola bars. Please swap out your traditional granola bars and do a homemade trail mix instead. That easy, okay? Bye, guys.